This is Basement Boy and Attic Girl. She's in the attic. She has a little canvas with paints, a paintbrush. She's singing. There's a light. There's a big window. That means her pineal gland's turned on in her brain. That's her third eye. The tree is a body. See, this is the roots. That's the root chakra. That's the boy. She's the feminine. When you sit down in meditating position, this is my root. This is the middle ground, my heart. And this is my crown, which is the attic. So you have the basement, the living room, then there's the attic. So it's the heart, the root, and the crown. But also you can turn it like this, and it's the boy is the left brain, the girl is the right brain. Bowl and Tor, girl and boy, red and blue. So it's left brain, right brain, but it's up and down. That's why I put day and night. It's opposites. You gotta go from the bottom left to the top right. It's a diagonal. In a forgotten forest, hidden among towering trees, stood an ancient structure unlike any other. It was a giant sequoia. It was the dwelling of two prophetic souls who seemingly lived worlds apart and in ignorance of each other for most of their lives. A boy in the basement and a girl in the attic. Basement Boy, as he was known, called the dim subterranean depths of the tree his home, surrounded by a labyrinth of books and gadgets. In the warm sunlit heights where the breeze never stopped flowing lived Attic Girl. His realm was one of facts in meticulous order. Her space was filled with art supplies, musical instruments, half-written poetry, and dream catchers. He spent his days organizing, tinkering with machines and solving complex puzzles. Content with his solitude, she daydreams of having human friends and listens to stories from her animal companions about the children in the distant cities. His mind was a web of mathematical equations and scientific theories. Her thoughts flowed like a river, painting visions of worlds unseen. The basement with its sturdy walls and earthy scent was his sanctuary. The attic with its large windows and beams of sunlight was her canvas. He felt secure, drawing strength from the roots that anchored him. She felt free as she danced in the moonlight in her pajamas every night. Basement Boy, with his strong, steady nature, took pride as he embodied his root chakra, making him comfortable at the foundation of the tree. He felt a deep connection to the earth and loved digging holes underground in hopes of finding treasure, bugs, or animals. Attic Girl embodied her crown chakra and was very honored. At the house's highest point is where she felt most powerful. She loved the stars and had a vast imagination, dreaming of far-off places as she gazed out of the attic window. They remained unaware of each other, their lives confined to their respective domains until one fateful day. A storm unlike any other struck the forest, plunging the house into darkness. Thunder roared and lightning illuminated the house with eerie brilliance. The storm's ferocity shook the old treehouse, and a sudden powerful bolt struck it, sending a shudder through its foundation. The force of the storm dislodged a forgotten door in the basement. Basement Boy, curious and cautious, lit a candle and ventured through it, finding a narrow spiraling staircase that led upwards towards realms unknown. Meanwhile, in the attic, a gust of wind blew open a trapdoor. Attic Girl, fluttering with anticipation, crawled through it, and suddenly the floor collapsed, sending her into the depths of the house. Basement Boy, guided by his own curiosity and inner voice, climbed up the stairs. As Basement Boy ascended and Attic Girl descended, they came to the heart chakra. The storm was getting more intense. Basement Boy entered the room and immediately felt the breeze on his shoulder, followed by a young girl's scream. He immediately tossed his candle to the fireplace and stretched out his arm. Attic Girl passed out as she fell, and as she was waking up in the arms of Basement Boy, the fireplace started to flicker, and its glow revealed their presence for the first time. The air was thick with the energy of countless ages as their eyes met. They felt an undeniable connection, as if they had known each other for lifetimes. At the moment, logic and intuition had collided, creating a spark that illuminated the entire room. "Who are you?" asked Attic Girl, her voice a melody of wonder. "My name is Leo," he answered, his tone steady and firm. "I live in the basement." "Really?" she asked in astonishment. "Of course," he explained. "I have no reason to lie." "Wow," she exclaimed. "Well, I'm Luna, and I live in the attic." There was an instant recognition, a feeling that transcended verbal communication. Their differences blended seamlessly, forming perfect harmony. Their conversations were a blend of reason and creativity. They felt an overwhelming sense of destiny as they spent days exploring their home together. Each discovery they made brought them closer, revealing the house's true nature. Over time, Luna started learning things from Leo, and Leo started to express himself. Leo was fascinated by the stars as he looked through her telescope, and Luna was amazed at the critters that were under his magnifying glass. As they learned more about each other and adopted each other's ways, they kept feeling an unseen force, as if an invisible thread was pulling them to the center of the house. To the heart of the tree, actually. They finally couldn't ignore this feeling, so they followed their sixth sense, where they found a hidden chamber with an altar at its center, inscribed with symbols that they instinctively understood. Drawn together, they stood before the altar, their hands touching and hearts racing as they placed their hands on it. In a moment of perfect unity, they merged their minds and hearts, their combined essence unlocking the divine magic that lay quiescent. A powerful wave of energy surged through them, igniting a fire that had laid dormant for centuries. Their love, born in the meeting of opposites, became a force of creation, and the tree began to awaken. They had become one, the embodiment of balance and harmony. The synchronization of their energies brought the treehouse to life. It was not just a giant sequoia, but a vibrant living being, imbued with ancient mystical power. Symbols and runes on the walls everywhere began to glow and pulse with life, telling stories of harmony, balance, and union that brought forth miracles. They realized their connection was much deeper than they could have ever imagined. They were not merely inhabitants, but the left and right brains to a greater being, the treehouse itself. They understood their incompleteness without each other, and that their unity is the key to awakening its full potential. Each connection between them made the house respond in extraordinary ways. When they held hands, the house shook with excitement. When they hugged, hidden rooms revealed themselves, as well as valuable treasures and artifacts with immense power. As the years passed, their bond grew stronger. When they fully expressed their love, the house revealed its ultimate secret. A loud thump was heard. Leo and Luna walked over to it and found themselves in front of the fireplace, and on the ground was a big heavy book. Leo picked it up and discovered it was a hearth manual. A hearth is actually the name for a fireplace. Luna flipped through it and found a marked page folded at its corner. It was a map of the entire house, and at the center it said, "Home is where the heart is." They both looked at each other with uncertainty, but Luna yelled, "Earth spells heart." And suddenly Leo realized and said, "Of course, our home is the earth, which is where the heart is. The heart of the entire universe. That means that the universe is conscious and we are tiny fractals of it," she concluded. "Everything is connected," he said. "All is one and one is all," she added. With their newfound knowledge and love, they were ready to take on the entire world and bring the whole world up to heaven with them. They ventured beyond the forest, spreading their message, teaching that the balance of grounding and enlightenment. And it's Leo and Luna because Leo is ruled by the sun and Luna is the moon, which rules Cancer. They went beyond the forest, spreading their message, teaching that the balance of grounding and enlightenment was essential, not only for individual harmony, but for harmony of the whole world. The world is split between the Eastern and Western philosophies, and this is because man himself is split between his own thoughts and emotions. When he marries the self and comes to the heart chakra, that's when he becomes a healthy, balanced human with integrity. Then will the world begin to change for the better. The Eastern hemisphere of the world is mostly religious, while the Western hemisphere is mostly scientific. Leo and Luna knew that the outside world was a reflection of human consciousness, also that nature is the body of God and God is the mind of nature. Through their intelligence, love, and unity, they inspired others to seek balance within themselves, awakening the world to its true connected and living nature. Leo and Luna inspired all who crossed their path to become whole and happy, just as they did. Together they represent the living embodiment of balance and possibility. Their love is proof that magic happens when two halves become whole. When we come together, amazing things can happen. People everywhere who were inspired by their story began to visit the Treehouse of Harmony, a beacon of light. It became a public library for truth seekers from all over the world and stood as a testament of the power of love, unity, and the incredible treasures within us all. We are all here for each other, reminding one another that we are all part of a larger self. We are the Alpha and the Omega, the dreamers and the dream, the creators and the creation. It's Alpha and Omega, and it's Sun and Moon. It's the Veshika Pisces. It's Alpha and Omega. It's left and right. It's two halves to make a whole. There it is.